Hey, what's up everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having a great day. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you my team that I used this week for Chimera to get, as many mythical eyeballs as I can. And I actually did my Chimera key last minute. That's why this video comes out a little bit late. I was very busy, real life, YouTube, CVC, a lot of stuff that was going on, the fusion, right? So I pretty much did my 2 Chimera keys at the last minute. And yeah, now I'm going to show you exactly the team that I used. So this was pretty much one of my go-to teams. We have our base here in the lead spot for the speed aura, then Lydia, self-explainable with the fear, decrease, defense, weaken, and so many other debuffs. Lady Mikage with the ally attacks, paired with Harima. Harima brings the decrease attack, and then we have Sifi as the reviver, and a lot of turn meter boosting and buffs. So I completed a total amount of 16 trials. I could maybe squeeze one more in with enough blood shield accessories to get the shield trial done, but this was also my personal best in terms of clash score for a non-Titus team. 255 million damage. And I did get 5.3 billion clash points with 16 trials, so actually pretty amazing. And in the end, I got 17 mythical mats. That's 17 out of 25 per key. I did run Ultra Nightmare twice to maximize my mythical mats. I was thinking about running Nightmare this week because I wasn't able to get those 8 mythical mats that are missing. So I was thinking like maybe I can run Nightmare, get the total amount of 10 that you can get on Nightmare, and stack up some Starstone because I'm really low on Starstone now. But then I decided to go for Ultra Nightmare twice and get the 17 mythical mats. I actually forgot to screenshot the trials that reward mythical mats, but we can look it up here. So on the ramp form, trials number 1, you have to complete all 3. There are 5 mythical mats for the hard one, and that is to deplete the dual target. Then we have, I think, 4 or 5 on the ramp form, trials number 2. Here we need to open up with increased accuracy, then damage the Chimera while it has weaken and decrease defense, or just weaken with a crit damage or crit rate buff, and then damage the Chimera with a single skill for 750,000 damage while it is under decreased defense and weaken. And actually out of those, the dual bar trial is probably the trickiest one, because you can only complete this if your dual target survives from the first turn of the ramp form, right? So you have to complete easy and normal in the first cycle of the ramp form, and then the last one in the second cycle. So here you can see it. That's right before we go into the ramp form. And I have to time the stone skin from our base at the right time. So when we go into the ramp form, our base has the stone skin up and doesn't, lose the dual target buff. So that way, the dual bar is up and we can start depleting it. Now, this is also very RNG heavy because we are really depending on Lydia placing the true fear, and that is actually very important. If we don't place enough true fears, Harima will kill herself too often, and then we won't be able to deal those 8 million damage, because that's actually what we have to do, right? 8 million damage in those 5 turns. And as you can see, there's a lot of reflected damage, so we really have to make sure that the true fear is up before we start hitting the ramp form with big shots. So that was pretty much the key for this trial. And it's pretty much the same for trials number 2, right? You just want to make sure that the true fear is up so you can go full out with your damage. Then the line form is pretty easy to do actually, and it's here the ally attack trial from trials number 2, the hard one, that rewards 5 mythical mats as well, I think. So here you just need to deal damage with ally attacks, and we have Mikage and Harima, and that's, you know, the easiest one to do. And then on the Viper form, that was actually also pretty tricky, but here we have to complete trials number 1, easy, normal, and hard. And if you complete the hard one, that's where you get more mythical mats. And here we open up with damaging the Viper form with block active skills. Pretty easy, right? Then we have to damage the Viper form while it is under HP burn and block buffs. We have that with our base, and Lydia places the block buffs. And then on the hard one, we actually have to get rid of block active skills and then damage the Chimera while it is under 10 debuffs, but it cannot be under block active skills. So we are really depending on Lydia to extend the block buffs. So the block active skills is at 2 turns and the block buffs is at 3 turns. So the block active skills runs out before the block buffs. And then I also have Lydia in a toxic set, because I don't have 10 debuffs in this team. So I had to put her in a toxic set so I can fill up the debuff bar. And that worked actually pretty well with Lady Mikage's ally attack. That was actually pretty amazing. Let me show you. So here you can see right before we go into the Viper form, I want to make sure I have no buffs on my champions, continuous heals. You know, they won't get stolen. The shield doesn't really matter, but I don't want to have any other buffs on my champions. Now I'm placing the leech, and I can, you know, heal up comfortably without any problem. And now you can see right here, we placed the block active skills and the block buffs, and the block buffs got extended by Master Hexa on Lydia's masteries. And yeah, that was pretty much a key for this trial. That makes it so much easier. I can definitely extend it. So the way I'm trying to do this is that I'm trying to keep the block active skills up until, you know, turn 29. On turn 30, I want it to run out. And that's where I start, you know, using ally attacks and everything that I can to fill up the debuff bar and then complete the trial. Let me skip forward a little bit. So right here you can see it. Block active skills has 1 turn left. So with the next turn, on turn 30, the block active skills will run out. I switched the form with our base because she can place block active skills with her A1 in her normal form, and I want to avoid that. That actually messed up my run once or twice when I ran this comp the first time. And yeah, you definitely have to pay attention to that. And the thing is, the Viper form, every time the Viper takes a turn, she gets rid of all the poison debuffs. So you have to replace them basically. But it also makes sure that you can place all the other debuffs like decreased defense and weaken, and you're not filling up the debuff bar, you know, without placing those debuffs or without a chance to place those debuffs. That is actually pretty amazing. So now you can see we placed the poison with Lydia's A1. Now we're going to place another one, are we? No, we're not. So we're at 9 debuffs. Lydia needs to place 1 more poison. But yeah, we will actually do this. It was absolutely no problem. Mikage will get another turn and then get some extra turns as well. And that's when we are going to finish it. And yeah, it worked out pretty well. I also saved up Harima's A2. That was also pretty key because it does a lot of damage, or the most amount of damage that she can do. And here we go. We go with the A1. Almost 1 million damage. The ally attack was ready. We just needed 1 more million. And I just used the ally attack here. I was also kind of gambling a little bit because we are switching into the ultimate form. And it's going to strip a lot of buffs and do a lot of damage. But we survived it, and it worked out perfectly. So yeah, in the end, 255 million damage, as I said, 5.3 billion clash points, 16 trials, and I got 17 mythical mats, 34 rare, 41 epic, 14 legendary, and 1 gemstone was my reward for this run. All right, so here are my builds. Last time I actually forgot to show my builds on the last Chimera week, so now I'm going to show you the stats. And yeah, this is my R base. She's in a 3-piece protection for some extra speed, 2 impulse sets, so 4 pieces of impulse, and then 1 feral piece for some extra accuracy. And yeah, So 82k HP, 4.2k defense, 394 speed, and 519 accuracy. That's what you need to place debuffs on Ultra Nightmare. Sometimes you want a little bit more, but yeah, mythicals usually ignore resistance, but with our base, the most important part is definitely the decreased speed on her passive, and this doesn't ignore resistance, so I need the full amount of accuracy to place debuffs. I have the Journal of Necrotos on her. She's completely booked. She was actually my first mythical that I pulled, when primals and mythicals got released, and I was actually pretty lucky. I pulled her out of the first primal shards that we got once the update was live, and yeah, I was pretty lucky with that. And here are the masteries. Went with Eagle Eye for some more accuracy. Then I have Lady Mikage in a Relentless and a Merciless set. Didn't change anything. Still the same build. 82k HP, 330 speed, and 358 accuracy. That's totally fine because, as I said, we are ignoring 20% resistance. And why is she in Relentless and Merciless? Basically, I want her to take as many turns as possible. More turns means more ally attacks. More ally attacks means more damage. More damage means more good. And then with the Merciless set, we have a 30% chance to decrease a random skill's cooldown by 1 turn. So that means we can increase the duration of buffs and debuffs more often. Also use the ally attack more often. Then she has Cruelty. This doesn't really help that much with Harima because Harima is already decreasing the defense by 30% on herself, so this doesn't really add anything to it, but that we are going to decrease the defense of the Chimera a little bit faster. She's completely booked. The A1 is not, but that also doesn't really matter. The 10% damage won't do that much. And here are the masteries. I gave her War Master. This is the build for Lydia. She's normally in a 9-piece Feral set, so I just used the 4 Toxic set pieces, the best ones that I have with the most amount of speed. As I said, the reason for this is so I can fill up the debuff bar for the Viper form trial. She has 59k HP, 3.7k defense, 310 speed, almost crit capped. That does help with the damage a little bit. And then 521 accuracy, right where I want her to be. A little bit more would be cool. I gave her this Gaze of Damnation relic, which gives a lot of accuracy. If I would take it to 4, it would be even more. And yeah, I don't think it's worth it at the moment. And I don't really need to upgrade it, so it's going to stay on rank 9 or rank 3, level 9. And then she's completely booked, obviously. I have a 6-star Nature's Bounty blessing on her, which gives her a 60% chance to place a greater version of Fear, which is True Fear, and that means we are not getting any reflect damage from the Ram form if it procs. Very important, actually, for the trials. And these are the masteries. I went with War Master as well. And here is Siphi in the 9-piece protection set to get more damage out of her buffs, and 78k HP, 4.9k defense, 397 speed. And yeah, anything else is just a byproduct. That's pretty much all I care about. HP, defense, and speed. I want her to be tanky and fast. Oh yeah, by the way, Mikage and Siphi have the same relic, the Purged Shadow Relic, which gives an additional chance to receive an extra turn, which is super important and helps a lot to keep the buffs up and do more damage. So I can definitely suggest you to use this relic if you have it on your support champions for Chimera. She's completely booked. Intimidating Presence. Our base actually has a higher Intimidating Presence, so it doesn't really matter. But it definitely helps to boost up your aura a little bit and get a little bit more speed. And with her, I went with War Master as well. And it's actually pretty important to bring as many War Masters as you can, because on the ramp form, you actually have to deal damage with HP burn, poisons, or max HP damage. And War Master counts for max HP damage, so you can get that trial faster. So that's actually pretty important. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Next time around, I'm gonna try, my new toys, Galathier and Aphidas. Maybe I can make some work with them. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. It really goes a long way. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more raid content. The YouTube algorithm is going to suggest you a video that you might like right here. and see you in the next one.